Hello guys, assalamu alaikum and good evening. I hope you guys are doing well. So the reason we are doing this podcast today is to talk about how to study efficiently. So before we dig deeper into our topic, let's just introduce ourselves. Uh, at first, let me introduce myself. My name is Naimul Haq Nayan, and I'm an international student, as you guys know, and I'm taking aerospace engineering in UPM, and my matrix number is 213904 from the Faculty of Engineering, and first year, first semester student. And I'd like all of you to introduce yourself.
Okay,
Hi, my name is Muhammad Syami bin Zari and my matrix number is 217705. I'm from the Faculty of Engineering and my department is Civil Engineering. So nice to meet you guys.
okay.
Nice to meet you too.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so my name is Amar Faiz bin Hamdi. You guys can call me Amar. My matrix number 217595 and I'm from Civil Engineering Department. Currently, I am first semester in UPM.
Hi.
My name is.
You go ahead, you go
Hi,
ahead,
my
you go
name.
ahead.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Muhammad Zakim Abdurrahim. You can call me Zul. I am from. My metric number is 217710. I am from the Department of Aerospace Engineering in the Faculty of Engineering, UPM. I'm currently in the first semester in my first year studies. Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.
Okay, hello guys. My name is Muhammad Iqbal Razi bin Isa. My matric number is 217721. I am currently studying in aerospace, Bachelor of Aerospace Engineering at UPM, and I am first year, first semester student. Nice to meet you guys.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Ahmad Ramzi bin Abdul Wahid. My matrix number is 217577. I am from Aerospace Department and I'm currently first year student in this faculty. So that's all from
Okay,
us.
guys. Okay, guys. Thank you for introduce yourself, and I'm happy to have you on board also. So let's move on to our move on to our topic. So for our topics, the first question is, what is the study method that you have done from you studying studying until now, like from the beginning of your life until now? So I would like you to answer it. Who's gonna start
Okay,
now?
let me
Okay.
first to share my experience about my study, what you call study method. Okay, from my past experience, and I used to this method until now is about memorize that fact and take the take some point and make the acronym from it, such as example. During our SPM, you guys, as we know, we have a lot of subject, right?
Yes.
So then,
Yeah, it's around 9 or 10 subject like that.
okay, we have a lot of subject, right? Such as mathematics, history, science, and so on. Then, from for us, a subject that we need to not memorize fact, math lah. I will use the more practicing a lot of exercise to memorize a lot of formula in math, such as we know, and at math we have algebra, then logarithm and indices that use a lot of formula, and sometimes it's a little complicated to use and choose what kind of formula that we need to use in the exam, right? So for me, for that subject, I just do a lot of practices and what we call to maintain my memory to use that formula in certain questions. But in the totally fact subject such as math lah, such as chemistry, history, science subject that the fact is thick, we need to memorize a lot of consequence, what we call procedure and so on. So from that, I think I always use a acronym method, which is for the what we call point of flowing fact. I will take a some point and make the acronym from it. I think you guys have done or used this method right at school. What you guys think?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I
I
one of my experience, I think during matrix we use in chemistry, right? To memorize uh me- methane
Yeah,
alkane
yeah,
I
yeah. I remember it.
alkane, right?
Sure.
Such as methane, ethane, butane.
Organic
From
chemistry.
Methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane,
from that
hexane, butane.
we take MEB and then make a acronym from it, right?
make you a lot of exercise. But did you list all the formula or you just when you do the exercise you
Huh?
did you know all the formula for the math or you just one?
For the math, I think I just memorize the formula, but yeah, from for math, I don't know to make an acronym from math.
Okay, okay.
I think your opinion is quite is quite
Simple.
important because human tend to remember what's interesting like based on colors and something like interesting because when you make acronyms you will tend to remember the things because you did it by yourself, so you will remember all of the hard works that you you need to do when you want to combine all of that, right, Amma?
Yes, I think so. So that's
Uh,
it.
okay, so for AMA method, I think I will partially agree. No, no, I think I am totally agree because that method is quite simple and yet very effective.
Yeah,
But
sometimes
I want to, yeah, sometimes what?
sometimes the acronym that we use also not related to the topic, right? We use to our surrounding to make the acronym to give more easier to us to remember, right? Such as
Yes.
our friend's name or so on.
Yes, yes. So I think I can agree with you because it is very and very easy method to follow yet quite effective for us for studying. So I want to point out new method that I use for a long time and which is very effective for me, which is study groups. So what is study group? We can find some friends to study a topic or just share ideas between and just because this study group method you can do it for a very long period of time because study with friends is quite fun because you do not feel very stressed, you just feel like taking a break while studying. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that
uh, okay
if there is a expert student like uh like Zoo, the smart one. So I think that will be fine because you can ask him any question without any hesitation. In the
yeah
class, if you there's a doctor and in front of the whole class, if you want to ask him, you might feel shy or you might feel a little scared. That's why I think doing a study group is better when you
Yeah,
have smart.
I agree with Iqbal also. that study group is one of the effective method that we can all use, but we maybe encounter some problems during our study session. Maybe some of the topic that we all cannot discuss because we all can't understand the topics that we will discuss. So instead of that, we need to study first ourselves. We need to prepare ourselves first before we do the study group. Are you agree with me, Iqbal?
Yeah.
I think yes, because you cannot just suddenly study with friends about random things. You have to know what your weakness before you do some study groups.
Yeah, I agree with that because the point of studying group is to point out all of your POV, right? Your point of
Oh,
view, and then
yes,
you all discuss about it. So
you
there's no
share.
point. There's no point of study group if you don't have anything in mind, right? You need to share
Yes,
something with your friend.
that's what
Uh,
links. Uh,
I
with,
love the idea of Iqbal method for the study group because yeah, maybe sometimes one of us is like the introvert one, right? Maybe in
yes,
class,
Yep.
in big circles, he or she maybe doesn't want to came up with a question. He or she maybe doesn't want to, go out of his shell.
uh,
He may be shy. So in a small circle like study groups, maybe he can point out all of the question that she might had in her mind. So she can discuss with this circle. So it's quite
right.
this
It's quite good to improve their communication skill, right?
is
And
a
besides
very
their
good
knowledge.
for this type of people to study.
Because it helps them.
Yep.
People will help them. So, what about you guys?
Actually, I have a question about that method. Not a question, but sometimes kind of a curious thing. How you avoid what we call distraction during a study group? From my based on my experience during MRSM and Matrix, uh, we decide to have a study group. All right. Then we set the time and the topic what we used to study lah. And then from that study section, somehow it can turn to the gaming section. You study and then no welcome to Mobile Legend. So how you avoid that? Or what your advice about that?
Yeah, like what Shami said earlier, when you know your weakness, you cannot do study group when you have nothing on mind, right? So when you have some purpose or some goal for that study group, um, then when you want to study, you have to make up your mind that you gather together for studying, and you have to treat yourself, not for playing games. When you're playing games, usually your mind tell you that we need to take a break and study, we can study later. It is not very important, so you can gaming first. So you have to treat yourself and do to pursue your goal, the purpose of your study group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do agree that I do agree that study group is one of the most effective study method. But for me personally, I don't think that I like my study style suits the study group method so much because like I don't know if it's just me and the past bad experience about study groups, but I cannot have like so many people talk about different things, like different opinions. I think that it is so distracting for me. But for me, I think that I prefer to study alone. And if we have to do the study group, then I think that I will compromise it. I think to like only when we make an exercise, not studying on certain topic. what Ramzi said earlier, I think that I can agree to that. We study something first, then during the discussion or during the study group session, we'll just I think make exercise, do exercise, and we do exercise
We
and
can revise
discuss.
again lah.
Yes, we don't study at that time. We'll
Then
just discuss.
what if when you study alone, right? I know some people is capable of study alone because it suit them better. But what if like you are learning certain new topic, then um
Hmm.
you can find the topic in textbook and you learn yourself, right? But what if you miss something? Because you
That's
don't
the
know
point.
if you don't
That's
know
the
if you
point.
miss something, right?
Yes, that's the point when I said that first you studied first. When you do exercise later in group, you will realize that you are missing something.
Uh,
And at that
so
time you will talk.
I can, so from what I see from your point is that you have to study first, then you study group. You cannot start from study group.
Yes, you cannot start from scratch in study group. I think that
Okay.
that's close to impossible to achieve the effective method in study. So I think that for me, when I study individually, I think there is one technique that I use, which is I set aim and goals on what I want to achieve in the study session, and during what time, like the duration for how long I need to achieve it. Like there are method that are widely used for people who do this kind of thing, which is set aim and goals, and which is we use the SMART method, which is your goals and aims must be specific, it must be measurable, it must be attainable, and it must be realistic, and it must be time specific. For example, like the specific goal is not that rather than say I will study more later. I will study later. I will study more. I will study later. But instead of that, like make a specific goal, which is like state that I will study every day between 2 and 4 p.m. So that your goals is specific, so that your mind would not be like in vague condition, which is like later will you usually your mind will push it. If you
I agree with your opinion, Zul, because yeah, sometimes when we keep procrastinating, we will not do it definitely because there's a
yes,
lot of distraction because we are teenager, right? Means to search for some things that will entertain us. So by
yes,
creating, but like what Zul said, by creating a concrete mission or concrete what do we say,
Aim.
something aim, something that we want to achieve, a concrete one, so we will tend to do it no matter what because we already create something that we will follow, not like I will do it later, not like not compromising things, right?
yes.
So that's definitely
Uh,
a good idea for a better
It
method.
then other than that, I think that your goals, I think, should be measurable, and it must be something that are realistic. By what I mean by measurable is that like you put you put uh, uh I think that you put a specific aim. Like don't say that I'll do better in next exam. No, but like make a specific aim. Like I want to achieve this result. Like I want to achieve, like if you are failed before, you are I want to achieve this kind like C plus or so I think that it is very important to be specific. And lastly, I think that in your goals you must make it realistic. For example, is that if you are weak in at math, like me personally before this, always fail in my additional mathematics in secondary school. Instead of saying putting an unrealistic unrealistic aim, like from fail to I want to score A plus. Like it's not impossible, but it's unrealistic to put that aim. Rather than that, I think that it's better you put a realistic, but it's okay if it's just like a small improvement. Like from fail, I want barely pass. Like from before this, I got 15. I want to achieve 40. Then later you will increase that little by little. I think that that is more effective than rather than you set uh, an extreme but unrealistic goals. I think that's all for me.
I think I can
Sometimes
agree
it
with that.
can be sometimes it can be our motivate, right, Zul? If we
Yes. Rather than rather than setting an unrealistic but later you cannot achieve it, then you will be like unmotivated and you'll be stressed. I think that it's
Yeah,
better.
I see it.
So
because when realistic, you know you can achieve it and you can find ways.
yes.
So how about anybody else? You want to share your method?
How about you, Ramzi?
Okay, thank you. So you have a great method and steps, Zul, to achieve the goals. But in my method, is more about how it's it's similar. It's really simple that maybe we all do, but we didn't realize it. So my method is about highlighting the key points on the books or on the notes, and so then we can refer later. This is because sometimes like our secondary school, maybe let's choose our history book. We have a thick history book, right? Maybe like 200 something pages, right? So how can we find the answer within the books or exactly the points without we highlighting? Is maybe we can search it, but it takes times. So by highlighting, we can save more times. We can refer any times, and yeah, we can share it to anybody else, right? So what's about your opinion about my method, Shami?
I think based on your methods, it's kind of yeah simples, but it's good because when we tend to highlight some of the key points, um, back when we want to search for that things, it will save sometimes because we already know that we already have it in mind because the key points we already highlighted, right? So when we want to revise it, it will save a lot of time. And after that, when you say that we can share it, I think maybe it's not quite relevant to me because sometimes students, we as a people, like me and you, sometimes I do it, the key points, it's gonna be different because we don't have like the rights, how do we say,
Right.
like certain ways, right? Different people, different ways. So it's not relevant to me because yeah, maybe you can share some things, but uh it will be quite difficult because I don't understand your mind.
Yeah, different
Oh yes.
understanding from different people, right? So, Shami, I think it's time for you to share your ways or methods, Shami. We all have waited long time to hear your thoughts about the method.
So one of my method is maybe we can do a schedule or a plan that we will follow that time. By example, for me, when I sit for an exam, I will revise back my exam papers and I will point out all of my, the
Mistakes.
the mistakes that I'm not getting a correct because by revising back, you will tends to do you will find out which things that you made a mistake before. So in my ways lah, let's say I like to repair, you know, like
Oh,
the mentality to repair something because
Yes.
I don't realize when sitting for the exam, I don't realize that I made a mistake there. So I tends to revise my exam papers and find the wrong things that I did, and then I study about that things. So it is much not time consuming and it is much effective lah for me. So that's all.
So
So what do you guys think about my ways?
So I think that
Yeah.
most people can agree with this, but that Shami method is like it's a very specific method that um, you learn more from your mistakes rather than you just revise blindly. Rather than you revise like certain topics like one chapter you revise, just revise blindly. Rather than that, I think that that method is very good. You pull out your exam papers, you see which part did you make the mistakes, and I think that revising on that part specifically will I think that will make you more proficient in your studies rather than revise blindly.
Yeah,
that's
because you need to find it's not relevant when you already know that things, but you keep on
Yes.
revising it. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
need
yes,
for
yes.
me, you need to find your own mistake and repair that. So
okay,
it will become a lot easier for you by then.
okay. Uh,
Okay.
now I want to share the way I remember my topic. So at first I have to I have to choose a topic like, and I always keep a little note here, and then after this I have to write a example so that I can refer it back later whenever I want. So and I also put some hashtag here so that I can understand like the Pythagoras method. That's
Yeah.
a phrase, right?
So it's gonna be
Uh,
like a quick notes for you, Naimo.
yeah, quick notes
Yeah, I
and
really like that
good
kind of idea
example.
because it didn't cost a lot of time for you to revise it. You know,
Yeah,
when you do some question and then you need to find that specific kind of what do we say?
the topics.
Uh, no, like the keywords for that
Okay.
question, right? So you just pop up your mini notes and then there you have it. Like
Yeah,
Yes.
I always do this because I'm not smart as the other guys. That's why I
then
always
we all are
finish.
the same.
Nah, your method is good because it's a very, I think, it's a very good benefit for yourself. The only downside for that is that people cannot read your notes because that note is only for you. Only you can understand the notes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I always keep my notes is in very small way, very short way, so that I only can read it, and you also can read it, but you won't understand what I'm uh, writing here.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
people will read and
You have
people
to
will
change
ask
you.
why.
Yeah, and I also keep some hashtag here, like the Pythagoras one and
Yeah.
like the tangent and cosine one. I think you guys also know. In Bangladesh, we say Loti, Buti, and Lobu, the tangent one. I think the Dr. Zairi also told us the Malay one, but I forgot how to say it. And for the hydrocarbon, methane, ethane, propane, we also use some shortcuts to remember this. So as a hashtag, I also put my this thing.
Okay.
And uh, there no one else, right, about
Yeah,
No.
this question.
Yes.
already have.
Oh, alrighty. So let's move on to our next question. Our our next question is, in your opinion, what's the most efficient way to study? Most efficient way.
Okay, let me first. So, for my opinion, I think I cannot conclude what is the most efficient method to study, but what I can say is ourselves has our study method, right? So, we cannot say Iqbal study group is the best method to study, or I cannot say my method is the best study method because different people have their different way to study, right? That's why we have a variety of students that pro is something but a loser in something because they have a different or kind of variety of way to study it. So that's my point. I think I cannot conclude what is the best study method, but what I can say is you can find your own study method. That's all.
Okay. For me, obviously, I will repeat my opinion. A study group because I cannot study alone for a very long time. But if I was going to study alone, I will use Ramsey method or AMA method, which is use acronyms or highlight the textbook. And maybe I can combine with Zul and Shami method, which is set my goal to achieve and make a specific schedule to follow, and it will achieve my purpose of study even when I'm studying alone. So I cannot. So for me, I think it is better that I know what's suitable for me and my weakness, and choose what is the best study efficiency.
All right. Are you done?
Yes.
Alright. In my opinion, there's no clear winner based on what method did you use because different people different. So it's like you can force a fish to fly. So all of us have our different method and have our different specialty. Maybe for me, I tends to repair on myself, or for Ramzi, maybe he like to points out all of the key points. And for Iqbal, maybe he likes to, make a study group. So it's all something, sometimes it is relevant to us and sometimes it is not. So it's all baked to yourself. So it's all depending on yourself. You need to find your ways and find your personality based on what you are good at, what you are bad, what's your pros and your cons. So back to yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
To me, myself, in my opinion, actually, I support Zul Zul method and Iqbal method. As per Zul method, we have to study our topic by own first, so that we can figure out what's the point that we don't understand. So sometime doctor already teaches us the topic, so we cannot ask him back going to the faculty again. So sometime after that, after we figure out the points that we don't understand, then we can have a we can follow Iqbal method, like group study. I think group study, in the group study, there not should be more than 3%. If there's more than 3%, uh, as per Zul said, uh, this must this could be a big distraction. Nothing will happen. We cannot study. We cannot learn anything from that. And if they're our best friend, forget about studying anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I agree with you.
let's go.
Yeah, I agree with you, Naimun. But yeah, study group. I think study group is one of the effective way that we all can apply to do our study. But before that, like Zul said just now, we need to study ourselves first
Yes.
before we do the study group. So Zul, what's your opinion?
I think that the main idea here is that there's no such thing as the best study method or the most efficient study method, because it's all like different people have different preference. Like what Shami said, like we have our own pros and cons, we have our own strength and weakness. So like I think that it is wrong for us to impose something on others. Like we cannot say that, oh, you should not study this way, you should study that way. No, I think that that is not a very nice thing to do, because like I said earlier, different people have different preference. And I think that for most people, for what we said earlier, the study method that we have given, I think that that is also something that most people had done. And rather than changing your study method just to suit others' taste, I think that it is okay for you to just go with your own ways, even though people see you like a weird person for studying that way. I think that it is better, because your studies is, I think that you want to achieve something in your studies is like for you, for yourself, not to satisfy others.
Yes.
So that's all for me.
I want to say a bit one thing that one person once told me, if is in studying or is in knowledge, it's okay to be selfish. So
Yes.
Naimur, you can conclude.
So, so we have come to this conclusion that uh, we we know that we know how we can understand. So uh, we follow our rules, like uh, like there's no such thing like best efficient way. So
Yes.
like Zul said, we have to we have to read our topics by ourselves first. Then if there's any problem, then we can make a group. So that's the most efficient way, I think. uh, so thank you all for joining, and that's it.
Okay, thank you, Damon. Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
Namu.
Thank you,
Thank you.
moderator, and thank you for all the panel.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you,
Yes.
guys.
Nice to meet you for this podcast. Thank you, guys.
Nice to meet you guys.